Hey friends, it's Brittany. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a mods video. So I asked you guys in the community tab if you would be interested in a mods video, like a mods video for realistic gameplay or something like that. Because I had gotten questions about my go-to mods and stuff, so I figured I'll just make a video and we can kind of talk and we can kind of go over which ones I think are the best. They're not in any particular order. I have separated them from big mods, smaller mods, and then just honorable mentions. So that is what we are going to be doing today. We're going to be using my short lifespan legacy family for this. Don't worry, they are in a completely new save, so this isn't going to affect their save, but yeah, I figured we just use them because they have a variety of Sims. They don't have teenagers, but they have 2 adults, they have 3 kids, and 2 toddlers. So yeah, I think right off the bat, I need to get her pregnant because the first mod that we're going to talk about is the RPO mod, and a big part of that is pregnancy. So with the RPO mod, while they're just going to go do their thing, it's called the Relationships, Family, and Pregnancy, I think. I think that's what it stands for. No, Realistic Pregnancy Overhaul, I think is what it stands. I don't know. Why are they cheering? I have no idea. But so this is the menu for it. So you can there's the Woohoo Life section. So you can choose Woohoo styles, roles, and preferences. I actually haven't used this stuff yet. It's fairly new and I haven't really played around with it. Maybe we can. Then there's there's Woohoo Health, which is basically just you can get WTDs, which are STDs. Yeah, so it's you can go buy Woohoo protection, like condoms and stuff. You can get HIV preventative medicine, WTDs, stuff like that. And then there's romance and friendship, so you can choose a couple of different things. You can decide to be celibate. You can decide to not interact romantically with a specific sim, feelings for a specific sim, not to become friends with a specific sim. And you can just really edit you can apparently write and send customized letters. I didn't even know that. And also it comes with Meet and Mingle. Now I will say that I haven't had much luck with Meet and Mingle. It never really works for me. But that could just be a me problem. That might not even be the mod's fault. It could literally just be a me problem. There's also reproductive health, so there's fertility. So if your sim has low fertility, it could be the man or the woman or, whoever in the relationship. It can be either one and they can have low fertility, and that means that they will struggle to get pregnant. You can go in and edit it, so don't worry. If you don't want them to be infertile, you just don't want to deal with all that, then you can go in and edit it. There's also pregnancy risk. You can set it to very cyclically, I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't mess with that, but you can also visit your doctor to evaluate fertility and health risks. So this is good because I don't know if the mod does this, but I know that in real life, as a person who can have babies, as they get older, their fertility, I think, goes down just with age. So I don't know if the mod actually does that too, but I think it'd be kind of cool. You can also get a sterilization surgery, so homegirl can go get her tubes tied if she wants. And then you can also come in here and see her health status, and you can see the risk of, or you can set the risk of pregnancy loss for her. You can also get a fertility potion, but we can't do that because we haven't set up our Bills app, which we'll get to. You can also do protection, so you can stop using hormonal birth control. That's only there because she's actually on birth control, which I kind of forgot about. So she is on birth control. This comes with the RPO mod. I have her on birth control in here. I think it's usually in here, but because she's already on it, maybe it's not. But yeah, she can stop using it. She probably isn't pregnant for that reason, but we'll figure it out. And then in here, you can see her pregnancy status. You can have child adopted by other family. These are cheats and stuff, so you can mess with those. You can also her thoughts on having children. Right now she's neutral about having children. But you can set that manually. You can also let fate and time decide. So maybe they're like towards the beginning maybe of like their young adult life, they're not wanting one. But as they get older, maybe it will change like on its own to say that they want a child or something like that, which I think is pretty cool because it like does it automatically. I always forget to do that for my Sims, but it is really cool. And then you can do thoughts on being pregnant. I don't really do this one. You can though. You can choose okay with being pregnant or not okay with being pregnant. I don't really do that one, but it's there. There's also jealousy and infidelity, so you can decide to always be faithful, which I think, don't quote me on this, but I think means that your sim will not I think it means your sim will not like automatically be romantic towards other sims. You know how sims are sometimes. They're like kind of weird and romantic with other people sometimes. I think if you click this, I think they won't, but don't quote me on that. You can also set to have no jealousy towards specific sims. So if I didn't want her to be jealous of old boy Ezra flirting with other people, then I could set that there. I think this is good, especially if they have an open relationship, which I don't know if you can do with RPO, but I want to say you can, but I don't quote, or maybe Woohoo Wellness actually. Anyways, so this, then you can set jealousy towards specific acts. So if she's not jealous for just flirting, but she obviously is jealous for kissing and woohoo and, you know, stuff like that. I've never messed with this, but it's pretty cool that it's there. And then lastly, we have insemination. Oh no, we still have adoption. We have insemination and surrogacy. So, oh, because she's not, because she's on hormonal birth control. That's why these are all grayed out. But you can have a baby through surrogate from agency. You can also carry a baby for other sims. You can attempt artificial insemination. There's these advanced options, which we can't do because we haven't talked to our partner first, which I think is kind of cool. We can also register with agency of surrogate pregnancies. So I'm gonna have her quit like using birth control real quick, just so we can open more of these things. So you can attempt artificial insemination, and there's 3 options. There's intracervical insemination, intrauterine, and in vitro. So obviously one's more expensive than the other. The first one's 500, the second one's 1,000, and the third one is 1,500. Obviously, this one is the highest chance of success. That's why it costs the most. So you can do that one, and you can also, okay, actually I'll show y'all. If you want to come in here and you want, say you want in vitro, you can choose it, and then you can look through portraits and pick. So you can like go through, and you're like, because she has a husband, I can go through and I can find him if I want him to be the one that's going to get her pregnant. But say for example she's fertile but he's not, and I want to just be like, okay, well he can't get her pregnant, so we're going to have to use artificial insemination and we'll have to use someone else's sperm, then we can do that. But you can also let the lab pick a random sample. So I'm gonna click, yeah, she can't do it because she doesn't have her phone like option to do. Also, I'm gonna give us some money cheats because we're not playing with like, this family is pretty broken in their save, but hey, right, in this save, you guys are good. There's also adoption, but you have to discuss this also with your partner first. But I think that section, let's actually just come like talk to him about it. But I think that section is, yeah, you can discuss adopting a child or discuss putting a child up for adoption. I don't think I've ever adopted a child this way. And then Adeline asked Ezra whether he would agree to adopting a child. Madeline wants to look at adoption procedures to expand the family. So you can choose 3 things. You can choose why not, the more the merrier, bad idea for now, or you can let fate decide. So you could really, like, if I knew Ezra's preferences, like say he would be happy to have another child, then I can choose this one because that just I don't know if you let fate decide if it looks at whether they would love to have another child or not. That would be kind of interesting to know, but I don't know. But yeah, you can choose this, you can choose that. I'm just going to choose this one. And then if you choose that one, he says, look, let's look into it. So I think maybe then, hello? Okay. Okay, and then you can also discuss putting child up for adoption, which I've never done, but I also think that that's interesting. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to get rid of any of my babies. I'll feel really bad. Also, when you click on another sim, you have more options. So you can make up and break up. If I wanted to, I can have them demand a demand a temporary separation. I'm not going to do that because I want them to be together, because I don't know if we have any other mods that we need to go through with them being together. Well, we do need to get her pregnant but anyways, you can also do custody stuff. So if they get divorced, and especially if like Ezra moves out or Madeline moves out, then I can choose who I want to have custody, or I can have like joint custody, which this is so realistic. I was playing the Barbie Legacy on my own, and my sim, Barbie, she actually, she got with a married woman, and it was kind of, not planned, but this woman had 3 kids, and so I had her divorce her husband, and I was looking at her kids, and I noticed that she was close with one of them, and she wasn't as close with the other 2. So I had the husband keep custody of the 2 that she wasn't closest with, and I had her keep custody of the one she was closest with. So you can do that, or you can like, you can go to court over custody decisions, or you can decide on the custody of the child. I think if you go to court, I think you could like if Madeline and them go to court, Madeline could lose custody. I don't know like the requirements for that, like if maybe she doesn't have a good relationship with them, I don't know. But yeah, you can also discuss all of this stuff. So you can discuss opting for artificial insemination, carrying a baby for another, or having a baby through a surrogate. And then, like I said, we just went over adoption. And then you can also come in here to woohoo roles. Agree to non-insert of woohoo. I've never looked at this stuff, y'all, so. And then you can agree to non-insert, for all woohoo, and then for next woohoo. So, okay, that's kind of cool. I've never looked into that. You can also tell about woohoo styles and preferences, ask to engage in couples expanded woohoo, ask about woohoo styles and preferences, and ask about woohoo life history. So, pretty sure his woohoo life history is just her, and same with her. But we can ask about woohoo style. I don't actually know what he's gonna say, because I don't think I've ever set it up, but we'll find out what he's gonna say. My woohoo styles are, I'm not sure. My preferred styles and a woohoo partner, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's because I haven't set anything up with him. You could say I'm exploring. Okay. But yeah, I haven't set anything up with him, so that's not surprising to me. Yeah, that's for woohoo life. Woohoo health, you can obviously ask him if he has WTDs. You can also ask him to stop using woohoo protection. You can ask about protection, and you can ask him to go get tested. So this is good if your sim, like, they get a WTD, and maybe they have multiple partners. You can ask him to go get tested, and then if he doesn't have any, then you know it's her other woohoo partner or something like that, you know? Then you can also ask Ezra to get his fertility evaluated and ask him about his fertility. Pregnancy and family, obviously you can ask if he wants kids. Oh my god, he just kicked Eric Lewis. Not my problem, honestly. It is my problem because they're my kids, but like it's not my problem, you know? I wish I could have my kids invite these strangers in, which sounds a little dangerous, but it's fine. Okay, so she's still not pregnant. I'm just gonna get her pregnant real quick, the old-fashioned way. She's having a boy. Of course she is. Of course she is. Even in this universe where she's still having another goddamn boy. If you watch my short lifespan legacy, she literally, I mean, you can even see it down there at the bottom. She literally only has boys. So I'm not surprised that she's pregnant with another boy. Either way, I can have her come take a pregnancy test. So this is the generic pregnancy test that comes with the game. Also, you can take a fertility awareness test. That's from the RPO mod, I think. If it's not from the RPO mod, then it's from the realistic childbirth mod, but I want to say it's from RPO, just because RPO has the like fertility stuff. So I don't know, it could also be from Woohoo Wellness, but yeah. So you can do this one if you just want it to be simple, get it over with. Or you can do this one, which comes with the childbirth mod, which I guess we can talk about next then. So I'm going to let her go take a pregnancy test. She has to go to the bathroom anyway, so this is fine. Oh yeah, our welcome wagon left. It's fine. Okay, so she's going to take a pregnancy test. We already know that. Oh. Take a pregnancy test. Okay, so this is what she'll do for her pregnancy test. She's like actually like taking it. Okay, and then she's gonna She's gonna look at her little pregnancy. Oh my gosh, she's so sweaty because they just woohooed. That's gross. And then after she like look, then she'll get this face, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm pregnant." So once they're pregnant, then they can come to their partner, and we can come into pregnancy and family. We can announce the news of pregnancy. We can still ask him if he wants children. We can also ask the company to abortion. We can offer to go to early parenthood classes, organize to provide for the baby, share worries about pregnancy, and worry about putting on baby weight. Ooh, we can also do paternity testing. So if they weren't married, you could ask to marry due to having a child together. You can also, I kind of wish that it didn't say truth or lie in these, because say for example your sim woohoos with like 3 different people in one night, and you want to do this paternity testing for the storyline, but if you come into one of these, you'll see that like this guy is the father because it says truth, or this guy's not the father because it says lie, or something like that, you know? Like I wish it kind of wish it didn't tell you, but just know that it does. So he obviously fathered the child, so we can tell him that he did, and it's the truth. We can also lie to him, but we're gonna do a quick detour to the SMB bills, and then we'll come back to the realistic childbirth because, hello, because we need to get like our power and stuff on. So SMB bills, it's by Sim Realist, and it's also got just like an SMB bank. It's also got some financial centers. Those are good too, but I want to focus on the bills part. On your mailbox, you can come in to show bills. I think you can also do it on your phone, but I always usually do it on the mailbox. Also, I don't know if you can hear the washer. It's going off because it's done. But you can come in here, you can show bills. So you have your home services, you can set up or sign off your home services. So you can just do the premium, the full welcome, or the basic, and it'll do those things for you. Like you don't have to, but you can also customize. So if you just want power and water and you don't want anything else, then those, you can choose that. But you have power, water, garbage collection, cable TV, premium cable TV, internet, premium internet, and your cell phone. So we'll probably just choose the premium welcome home package because we can afford that. You can also manage your utilities, which you can do in the regular game too, but you can also do it in here. I never mess with this, so, but you can. You can also come into government benefits portal, so you can do child support, you can do alimony, and you can apply for well fund for families. But there are like requirements for it, so you have to, like, your lot can't be more than 40,000 simoleons, or rent cannot be more than 800 simoleons. You have to not own a business, you have to be unemployed or part-time or full-time and making less than 1,050 simoleons a week. You have to be unmarried, and you can't receive child support. So obviously we don't qualify for that, but you can do that one. And you can also do alimony. So if you get divorced, you can make your like ex-husband, wife, whatever, pay you money. I think that's how alimony works. And then child support, obviously, if they break up and she gets full custody of all the kids, she can tell him to pay child support for her. I don't really use that one very often, but you can also obviously come into settings and you can do like cost settings. I don't really ever fix these. Like I don't change them. You can also do auto pay. I have auto pay on with MC Command Center, so I don't have it on in here. To be honest, I didn't even know you could, but yeah. And then you can also, these are all grayed out because we don't have our bills due right now. So we have utility bills, which I think these are just the regular bills that come in the mail. So that's what you, obviously we don't have any, but you could click that to pay them. But because I have auto pay on NC Command Center, I never have to. You also have your property taxes. So you have like 4 weeks, like a month, but like there's no months in The Sims. So you have 4 weeks until they're due. So they will be due like 4 weeks from now on a Sunday, I think. And right now our estimated cost is 7,581. So we could afford it, obviously, if it was time for them to be due, but we don't have to pay them. You can also pay bills with your S&B account. So say you have savings, like you can't afford them with your household funds, but you have savings that you can pay them using your SNB bank account. So I do have the SNB bank mod. So you have this little app on your phone. You can come manage accounts, you can transfer money. You can also open up SNB bills, so you can just open that same thing up through your phone. And you can open a new bank account. So if you have an account, when you go to manage accounts, it'll be there, but you can also open a account, so you can choose this. The music that comes with it is so annoying, and I hope they get rid of it. But there's checking account and there's a savings account. So if you wanted to do a savings account, like for example, the main reason I do savings accounts is for the kids. You can also upgrade to Premiere, which is what I just did, and you can also share your account. So I'm gonna share it with the kids' dad. But I hate this music. But you can, what I usually do is I'll maybe set up like quote unquote trust funds for the kids when they grow up. So let's just say that's what this is, and we wanted to put like 5,000 in it. We could do that, and then we have that in there. So also, just a quick side note, this isn't on my list to mention, but I have a mod called Automatic Thermostat from Little Miss Sam, and what it does is you can activate it and it will literally do what it says. So he'll come down here, he'll activate it. It does cost like basically $700 to do it, but I think it's worth it because if you're kind of lazy like me, it will do like the automatic. So because it's hot outside, it makes it cooler, but if it's warm outside, like wait, what? No, if it's cold outside, it will automatically make this warm. So it will change this to warmer, and you won't have to do it on your own, because if you're lazy like me and you kind of forget sometimes also, then you can just have that. So that's just a side note. It's not even on my list, but I wanted to mention it. We have the realistic childbirth mod, and with this we can come into the home section and we can call our obstetrician. So once we call them, we can choose how we want to deliver this baby. We can choose the surgery machine, which I think is the like normal way they give birth, like in game with no mods. We can do natural delivery, which means it's going out the cooch, and you know, like nature and God intended or something, I don't know. We also do a C-section, which obviously if you don't know what a C-section is, they literally cut into like your uterus and pull this child out. It's very graphic. Not in the game, just in real life. I guess childbirth in general is graphic. Whatever, doesn't matter. You can also choose a home birth. So if you choose a home birth, you can, I think there's two options. You can choose water, or you can choose just giving birth to this baby on the bed. You can also, if you watch my Short Lifespan Legacy, my sim gave birth in the hallway on her own, and her toddler witnessed it. It's very traumatic, but yeah, you can do that. But you can also do pregnancy checkups. So this is where you go if you want to go. I don't know if she actually can yet because she's only in her first trimester, but we can go try. So we can go get an ultrasound. Okay, so I just quickly replaced the hospital because this is the one that I use. It's by Nicole Simbler right here. It's the one that I use. It already has the CC, oh my god, from the childbirth mod. So if you can see in the description, it has hashtag pandasama and hashtag birth mod. So this is the one that I use because it already has everything and I don't have to go in and add it. So yeah. So like if you can see, we have, hello, you probably already know, like, you know, you've seen this in my Let's Plays. So over here you can, okay, no, I'm not in live mode. Over here, this is the ultrasound thing, and then you can also, this is a yoga ball. You can ask Ezra for a back massage. You can also exercise on it. This will help speed up the birth process. You can also get blood work done here, but I've never really gotten the results back from that. I've done it before, but never really got the results back, I don't think. But you can also choose your ultrasound preference. Now, I don't know if you have to do this for every pregnancy. I do it anyway just because, oh, keep my outfits. I did not know I could do that. Childbirth settings. So there's some options you can do. So you can disable lactation if you don't want that. Like if you don't want her titties to leak. You can also disable stretch marks and scarring, but like, yeah, you can if you want to. You can also enable permanent stretch marks, which I don't think I've ever, I guess I never really paid attention, but do they get the stretch marks and stuff on their own? I've actually never noticed that, but that's interesting. You can turn off the weight gain. You can also turn off woohoo induced labor, which I didn't even know was a thing, which makes sense though. You can also wear your own clothes during natural birth. So yeah, so you can choose, like, if they give birth at home, I think you can choose them into like their PJs or whatever and have them give birth in their PJs, I think. You can also disable birth emergencies, so they will not experience birth emergencies and will not need emergency C-sections. So if that's maybe triggering for you, you can disable that. So I think that that's good. Oh, really quickly. He might already be set up too. But if you come into here, it's actually in the deep thoughts section. You can ask to accompany childbirth, and this will make it so that not only does he like accompany her. Oh, look, this is so cute. I don't know if this little animation is from the childbirth mod. I don't know. It might be from the pregnancy cravings mod, which we'll talk about later. And then he said, I'm not missing the birth of our baby. Yes, I'll be there, which is perfect. They can say a couple of things. I've never had a sim refuse. I don't know if they can, but I assume they can. Okay, so not only, I don't know if I ever finished my thought, but not only will they attend the birth with you if you ask them to, but they will also like join you for the ultrasound. So we start an ultrasound. We'll just use Gabriel because I think he was standing next to us. Also, she has this moodlet. It might be from the RPO mod, but it says they have different ones. So for if if your sim wants to have a child, it'll be different. They'll be happy about it, but because she's neutral, she's only fine. And obviously if they don't want a child, they'll get like a negative moodlet. But it says, Madeline is going to have a child. It seems it will be a special and important time in Madeline's life. She feels reasonably ready for it, but not overjoyed. A little scared, a little enthused, a little of everything, to be honest. So, makes sense. She already has 5 damn kids. So anyway, she's gonna get up here, and the clothes sometimes will like glitch. Like, for example, she's wearing this random black t-shirt. I don't know if there's a way I can like stop that from happening, but it doesn't really bother me that much. So what it's gonna do is it's literally like, it's so cool. Like, look how realistic this is. And it'll come up and say, congratulations, you're pregnant. Based on the ultrasound, it looks like you're expecting 1 healthy baby. Everything looks good so far, but we'll continue to monitor your pregnancy and the baby's development to make sure everything stays on track. This is an exciting time and we're here to support you every step of the way. And her husband left. Also, it will tell you the ultrasound scan shows that you're expecting a healthy baby boy. If you didn't want to come all the way to the hospital to do this, you can also just click this for $200 and discover baby number and birth gender. So you can just do that if you wanted to. You didn't have to come all the way here if you don't want to. So also, there was something else I was going to say. Oh, the moodlet. So they get this moodlet after it. So it says, already in love. Madeline can sometimes feel her baby kicking around in her belly, but it's another thing to finally see them on a screen. Madeline is filled with joy at the sight of her baby and is feeling a sense of amazement and awe at the miracle of life. She can hardly wait to meet her child. And the other parent also gets something. So it's basically the same thing, but it says, yeah, it says he's overwhelmed with joy and excitement when he saw the little life growing inside his partner appearing on the screen. In that moment, he felt an immediate sense of responsibility and protectiveness towards his unborn child. The reality of becoming a parent is becoming more and more real. So that's what the partner gets. But so the next mod is the Wonderful Whims mod. So this one, obviously, there's also the Wicked Whims, which they do the same thing basically, except Wicked Whims is more graphic and stuff like that. Wonderful Whims is not. So with Wonderful Whims, what I love is that you can also pose your Sims. If you don't want to use Pose Player, you can also pose your Sims with Wonderful Whims. So if you just come in here and click pose, you can choose whatever from like your poses. And what I love is if I put her in this pose, it's not for adult women, so it's gonna mess up. So just ignore that it looks like that. But I can also, if I click pose again, it's gonna keep me in the same pose pack. So I don't have to go looking for it. Whereas with Pose Player, if I wanted to do a pose like here, and I wanted to make her the mom in this, then she'll do the pose. Okay, she's in the ground. Please ignore that. But like if this was like all the way down here or something, I'd have to go look for it again. There's also wonderful attributes. So I don't know if she has any, I don't think she has any wonderful attributes right now, but you can give all Sims wonderful attributes, you can randomize all Sims wonderful attributes, or I can just give Madeline specifically one. So there's hypofertile, hyperfertile. Oh, hypo is they have difficulties conceiving a child, and hyper means that they have a lot of fertility. They also have quick cycle, extended cycle, so I think this relates, yeah, it relates to their period. They also have bleeding control, so you can avoid the discomfort and inconvenience of bleeding. I wish I could do that. You also have eternally faithful, which is literally what it says. You have polyamorous and you have socially avoidant. So polyamorous means that you are open to having multiple romantic relationships and you don't get jealous. Socially avoidant is they're simply not interested in talking to anybody unless they have to, which I relate. So I don't actually ever use these, but you can. And then there's also the settings. So there's a lot of settings in here. I recommend doing the settings one time and then saving them. I have mine saved as use this one, and this is the one that I use. So that's what I recommend. So like you go through one time, set up all the settings that you want, and then you can save it. And then there's a bunch of other settings. There's Woohoo settings, which you can change STD related settings. You can also transform Woohoo into Try for Baby. So what it does is it transforms all Woohoo interactions to allow pregnancy and disable. Okay, so basically, you know how in MC Command Center you can like set up risky Woohoo? I think that's what this is, but I don't use it, so I'm not 100% sure. But STD settings, you can come in here and you can check to enable Sims contracting crab lice and also crab lice infested bedding. I don't use these. You can also do crab lice sleeper agents population, which is interesting. I don't use that one either, but you can. And then you can also turn on or off the menstrual cycle. I wish I could do that with me too. You can also do it for teens. And then you have menstrual cycle settings, which you can do the duration, the fertility level, the tampon or pad absorbency. And then you can also have birth control like affect like your periods. But also you can come into advanced and you can use, there's use toilet to change pad tampon switch, period effect moodlets, and period bleeding. So that's in there. And then you have birth control. So you have birth control accuracy, which you can choose perfect, realistic, or unreliable. You have NPC Sims birth control use behavior. You have safe, moderate, rare, or unsafe. You have condoms automatic use and pills automatic use. So those do what they say. Other settings, you have pregnancy duration, which if you don't have MC Command Center, I guess you can set it in here. I have MC Command Center, so I don't set it in here. You also can override your games or mods pregnancy. If you have the RPO mod, you want to uncheck this. I will show you my settings afterwards. There's also transfer Woohoo into Try for Baby. So isn't this the same thing? I don't know. But those are those options. And then you can also just completely disable pregnancy. If you don't want anyone in the world to get pregnant, you can disable it there. I don't ever use that, but I didn't mean to go back in there. There's also relationship settings, so there's attractiveness settings, which Sims attractiveness. It enables attractiveness affecting Sims. You also have relationship scoring, attractiveness memory storytelling. I don't mess with these ones, so I don't really know what they do. There's also personality settings, so it enables personality and personality archetypes impressions, and it also allows Sims personality archetypes hint notifications to show up. Oh, okay. So sometimes when you're chatting with someone, you'll get the notification like so-and-so is an innocent archetype or something like that. So if you didn't want those, you could get rid of that. I didn't know that. There's also the persistent social boredom switch. So it enables Sims remembering boring conversations for a few hours, which I did not know. Oh, repeating social interactions leads to boredom, which in the base game is forgotten immediately after the conversation ends. Oh, interesting. Also have relationship utilities. So if you wanted to have everyone have an open relationship, you can unlock romance interactions for multiple partners and marriages. You can also do the relationship jealousy switch, so you can check to keep the default jealousy from cheating behavior of Sims, or uncheck to disable any jealousy from cheating behavior of Sims. You can also have the gender preference distribution weights. Adjust newly generated Sims gender preference. I don't mess with that one, so I don't know. But there's also body settings, which you can, remember when I said that they were sweaty? If you don't want that, you can get rid of that. So that's what that is. And then obviously there's the settings profile and the headline effects and all this stuff down here. But in the settings, I'll show y'all what my settings are. My settings are this. So like I said, I have this stuff off. But I used to play with menstrual cycle on, but I keep it off now because ain't no one got time for that. If you keep it off, you have some other options like player Sims pregnancy chance and NPC Sims pregnancy chance. So I usually keep these both at 10%. I don't know if... I think I use this and I don't use the risky woohoo percent in MC Command Center. Honestly, maybe I should even lower it, but I keep it at 10. I keep both of them at 10, but you can make it lower or higher depending on just what you want. As for birth control, I don't really change either of these. They're all the same. Just ignore my dog barking, by the way. Like I said, I don't do anything with pregnancy duration, and I don't do anything with this one. But this one, you want to make sure that this is unchecked. If check to allow Wonderful Whims pregnancy functionality override woohoo and try for baby interactions behavior. So if you want the woohoo wellness, no, if you want the Wonderful Whims, I always call it woohoo wellness. If you want the Wonderful Whims like pregnancy functionality and stuff like that over, like for example RPO mod, you can check this and that's what it'll do. If you want RPO mod like fertility, or not, if you want RPO mod's pregnancy functionality over Wonderful Whims, then you don't check it. That's what that means. So also with Wonderful Whims, you have an option in your phone. It's literally just called Wonderful. Oh my god, you can donate your baby to science. See, I did not know that. Usually it's only these two options, but because she's pregnant, she has this one. You can also go to the tanning salon, which I never do because, like, why would I need to? You can also go to the Wonderful store. So I'm going to send her to that and show y'all. You can get the lice-killing shampoo. You can get pads, tampons and pads, tampons, birth control pills, Wonderful chill pills, and condoms. The chill pills are, let's see, what do they do? Oh, they're the answer to unwanted mood swings and pains caused by the premenstrual Oh, I didn't know that. So, like, if you have the pregnancy turned on, sometimes your Sims can get, like, premenstrual symptoms. Like, they can get dizzy, they can get, like, I think they can get irritable, I don't know, but you can get these and that'll get rid of them, which I did not know. I also wanted to mention, just really quickly while we're in here, because you might notice that there's these, like, talent stuff. So, she's a casual gamer, she's not really good at acting, she's good at fitness, apparently. These are all from the Talents and Weaknesses Talents and Weaknesses mod by Lumpinu. It's the same creator that does the RPO mod. So if you just go to their Patreon and find like a master list of all their mods, you'll find the Talents and Weaknesses mod. I really recommend it because it's not only helpful for realistic gameplay, but it's also helpful if, like, for example, when your kids first age up and you don't really know what to give them, like traits wise, but you come in here and you see that he's also business savvy because he inherited that from his mom, which that's a feature from MC Command Center. But if you see that he's a programming genius, then you'll be like, oh, okay, so he's good at programming, maybe I'll make him a genius, or, you know, something like that. Which, and then with the other kids, he's a gifted author, so maybe I can make him a bookworm or something. Also has an athletic build, I can make him active possibly. And same with this kid. He's also a quick learner, so maybe genius. That's an inherited trait, I think, from his dad. So I really recommend the Talents and Weaknesses mod, especially for that option, because you know when you have a kid age up and you're not really sure like what you want for them. Also, toddlers can have them too, so he's not very good at music. He's also a business savvy. And then this one's also business savvy, but he doesn't have a talent or weakness, but he should get one when he ages up. But yeah, so that's the talents and weaknesses mod. I just wanted to add that because I really like it and I think it's really good to have. The next mod is the custom once mod and the milestone mod by Missy Hissy. So the custom once mod, if you watched my doing what my sim wants for a week video or something like that, whatever it was called, your sim can get like other wants based, like they have better wants, I think. So like she wants to study drama at university because she's self-absorbed. I don't know if she could get that want normally or if that's from the mod, but just know that it it does help with wants and stuff, so it adds like realism that way because I think it's focused on traits and stuff. I have the tab open for it. Let me just read. Like, yeah, see, it adds new ones. I know you can't see this, but you can follow along with me because I'll have all of the list of mods in the description. So it adds new ones like bake a cake for family, throw a birthday party, buy a present pile, play in money pile, buy a vault, stuff like that. It says that the wants on their own won't do anything in game. So you need mods that add custom whim sets, which I did not know this. So honestly, you can have the personality mod, the hobby mod, the character values overhaul, or the seasons trait bundle, which I didn't know that. The personality mod, I will mention, I used to use it. I don't use it anymore just because I always forgot that I had it and then I never used it. But what it does is it'll give you rewards. I'll put this in the description too, just because like I'm going over it, so I might as well, so you can follow along with me if you want. But in the reward store, it will give you like if your sim is a family sim, if they're a fortune sim, if they're a knowledge sim, a pleasure sim, a popularity, a romance. And those are, I think, from The Sims 2. Like, I think that's probably where they got those from. And it looks like if you have the hobbies mod, there's an arts and crafts hobby. I used to use that one too, but I don't anymore. So if you have, like, if your sim has that family sim trait, then they will get more ones based on that, which is probably what you want. I'll probably download the personality mod again, if I'm being completely honest with y'all, but I don't have it right now, but I probably will. As for the milestone mod, this adds custom milestones. So I don't know if they'll have any custom milestones because see, these are from the healthcare redux mod. Yeah, I can't find one on them, but it adds custom milestones to the game. So it adds 4 from Get Famous, so permanent celebrity, first Starlight accolade nomination, 1 a Starlight accolade, and 1 5 Starlight accolades. And then it also adds stuff from the vampires, so first drink from a sim, first sim turned, sizzling epidermis, 1 first vampire duel, become a grandmaster vampire, and bitten by a vampire. I don't know if those are the only 2 packs that add stuff from, but those are the only 2 that I can see right off the bat. So that one's good because it just gives you more milestones. Like, the game itself comes with some pretty good milestones and stuff like that. And plus I have the healthcare redux mod, so it also adds other ones. But I think it's good to have because I don't think in the game with Get Famous, like if you have Get Famous and you have the milestones, were they in base game or were they in growing? I think they were in growing together, right? But if you have growing together and you have Get Famous, I don't know if there's any Get Famous related milestones just in the game itself, which doesn't make any sense because wouldn't a milestone for your first award be significant enough to be a milestone? I don't know if it actually is in game, but this mod adds that, which I think is just completely smart, and it's so much better and more realistic. Speaking of the healthcare redux mod, this one I probably will always use. I love it because it's so realistic. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea because they might not want to deal with healthcare stuff in The Sims. I completely understand that. But for me personally, I love a realistic gameplay. I love the realism in gameplays. That's what makes it a lot of fun for me. Sometimes I'm like, well, this isn't realistic, but let's just do it anyway because whatever. But for the most part, I'm very realistic with I'm a very realistic game player. She has hypertension. Yeah, she has hypertension. So it's a chronic condition. So she basically has to like she has to take medicine, or she can take medicine. She doesn't have it right now, but like she could come into here. So you have this a Deep Indigo just has this like complete icon on here with their stuff from all their mods. But for the healthcare redux, you go to healthcare services. Let me just have her do this real quick. You can also, so you can click go to the doctor. You can also go to the acupuncturist, the hospital, or you can visit a sim in the hospital, which I never really noticed. You can also get an allergy shot, but those are all grayed out right now. You can see if you go to the doctor, there's different options. You can go to the doctor for a well visit. You can go to your general practitioner. You can go to an allergist, a specialist, sports medicine. You can also go to the gynecologist. This is a relatively new feature, which I love. They can get pap smears and stuff like that. And because she's pregnant, she can go to the obstetrician. They will get moodlets that come up. I don't think any of them have a moodlet yet, but they will get a moodlet that will come up and it'll say something like a little off from question mark. And that's when you know that you need to send them to the doctor. So you'll come in here, you'll go to the doctor, and then depending on what's wrong with them, like you won't know, but you kind of have an idea. So if go to allergist is the only option that you can click on, then you know it's probably something related to allergies. So then you just click that, they'll go and they'll get their diagnosis. And if they get prescribed medicine, or they can also get medicine that maybe like over the counter, you can either go to the pharmacy and they'll go off the lot, or you can just order from online pharmacy, which is what I do because I'm lazy. So prescriptions are this one right here. But she doesn't have any prescriptions to be filled or refilled at this time, so that's why this is grayed out. But usually her hypertension medicine, which I don't actually know if it shows up in here on its own. It might not because it's prescribed, but this is where it would show up. And then you can also just purchase pharmaceuticals, which is like over-the-counter stuff, or you can just show everything. So they have adult vitamins, they have aspirin, they have Pepto-Bismol, they have children's cough medicines, children's paracetamol, they have Cloderm lotion, which is for eczema, they have cough medicine, they have Doxylemon, I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's for sleep disorders. They also have this magic elixir, which I don't ever use this, but maybe it heals your sim completely. I don't know. You also have glucose tablets, which it can raise your blood sugar. You also have health tonics, which I guess is good if you don't want to use like pharmaceuticals and you want to use something more healthier. It's basically like essential oils. I don't know. You also have hydrocortisone cream, which I actually didn't know was in here, but it's good for eczema as well. I didn't know that that was in here actually, which I'll probably start getting because eczema comes up so frequently. Like all my Sims have eczema, I swear. So I'll probably start getting that one maybe instead of the Cloderm lotion. Okay, I don't know. But anyways, you also have ibuprofen. You have iron supplements, which is good if your Sims are anemic. You also have loratadine. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's for allergies. So if your sim is, all of these medicines, by the way, are included in the download. When you download Healthcare Redux, there's like a section that's called like medicines or something, and you just add that into your mods folder if you want the medicine. The medicines are made by, I guess it literally says it right there, they're made by Sandy at Around the Sims 4. I don't know if all of them are, but I think most of them are. And you'll just drag that folder into your mods folder, and then you'll have all that medicine, and you're good. This medicine right here, it looks like it's just from the base game, like base game Sims. You know how you can go on the computer or something and order medicine? I don't know if this is like a cure-all thing. It says it can cure even the severest of sicknesses. I don't know. You also have paracetamol. You have prenatal vitamins, teen vitamins, and youth vitamins. I don't actually use these. I used to use prenatal vitamins, but I don't even bother with it anymore because I don't actually know. Oh, it can help stave off the development of illness and chronic. You know what? I probably should use prenatal vitamins more often. And I don't use these teen or youth vitamins, which honestly, I probably should. No wonder my Sims always get like chronic conditions. I don't know. Your sim can also get like medical emergencies, especially if they're pregnant. You can also get vaccinated right here. You can also apparently donate blood, which I never used, but I think that's good. You can also explore healthcare insurance options, which I never really use this because I want to say it's automatically assigned, but don't quote me on that. You can also request a refill if you have a prescription. So that's what's in there. But your sim can have medical emergencies. She actually has the moodlet because she had one. I think, I swear I saw, yeah, had a life-threatening medical emergency. So if you watch my short lifespan legacy, you will remember this. She had to go to the hospital because I think it was like not long after she gave birth to these two. She was like bleeding or something, so she had to go to the hospital and she had to stay in there for like 2 days. So they can have medical emergencies like that. And you can also, I think it's in here. Oh, with the Healthcare Redux mod, you can also check her blood pressure level, which I've never done actually. Her blood pressure is 5367. High blood pressure is 75, and above and low blood pressure is 25 and below. So is that good? I have no idea. So in the Healthcare Redux cheats in here, you can add prescriptions. You can also add a pregnancy complication, but I can't because she's not in the second trimester yet. I can also add a non-deadly illness. I can add medical emergencies, injuries, deadly diseases, chronic conditions, allergies. I can also remove her conditions and illnesses. Enable mod features are already enabled though. I can also enable mod deaths for this sim, but it's already the current setting, so I can't. Also enable mod deaths for this household, it's already set. But then I can literally just the opposite. I can disable all of that if I want to. I can also add a random gynecological, infection. And then I can remove like all the things that she has. Like if I wanted to get rid of her hypertension, I could. So you can just basically remove all the things that you can also add. And then you can select her serious illness immunity. You can select natural immune system level, reset her prenatal appointments, reset her immunity. You can also reset complications, injuries, illnesses, and emergencies. She doesn't have any of those, so I can't. Reset appointments in undiagnosed status, reset all mod features, and I can remove pregnancy complications, but she doesn't have any to remove. Toddlers, and I don't know about, I think infants too, but when toddlers get sick, you can send them to the pediatrician. I can't right now, obviously, because he's not sick, but I can click on him and click like go to pediatrician, and then I can choose to send him with one of his parents. I know infants can also get sick, but I don't know if you can just send them to the doctor as easily as you can with the toddlers. So those are all of the big mods that I have down. Now we're moving on to the smaller mods, which again aren't in any particular order. The first one is Granny's Cookbook. So you can, the original is this book, like this is what you'll have when you download the mod, but you can also get it's an add-on to Granny's Cookbook. You can get this little tin of recipes or this cookbook stand, and those are also they work the same as this cookbook, but they're different. But with the cookbook, you can come in here and you also have to have the recipes for it. So don't think that if you just have this book, you'll get all of the recipes. No, you have to download the recipes too. So if you wanted to, you can come in here and cook specialty recipes. So you can click baking. Obviously there's nothing in here to bake. And you can also click grand meal, which you can make grand roast beef dinner. That's like, she doesn't have a very high cooking skill, I don't think. Cooking. No, hers is level 3. Let's just max her cooking so we can see everything in here. Now she can do gourmet. There's still nothing in there. I don't really know why, but now we can do gourmet. So we can do gourmet cheese board, mango layered mousse. These are just all the recipes that I have in the game. There's also snacks, so you can do cold drinks, and any like cold drinks that you have installed will show up in here. There's a lot of different ones. Princess Party Juice, which is so adorable. They also have hot drinks. So this is mostly just like your hot chocolate. You also have tea and biscuits. Then you have snacks. So you have like grapes, berries, carrots and hummus, PB&Js, you know, some fruits. And then you have garden veggies, dipping platter, finger food platter. And then you have your recipes. So I don't know why nothing's showing up in baking, but all the desserts should show up in here. So you have meals, appetizers, barbecue, breakfast, and desserts. So desserts is in here. And I have literally so many. Literally just the reason I love this mod and the reason I included it is because little Bo Blub, I don't know how to pronounce their name. I don't remember what it is. But anyways, they have a lot of different recipes. They have like recipes that are from other cultures as well, which is so important. So that is why I have it just adds realism. It adds, especially if you're sick of seeing the same old food in the game. You download this, you get some new things. I'm not going to go through all of these because for one, I don't want the glitch to happen where if you open too many menus, it like doesn't open, because I don't want to deal with that right now. But for two, there's just too many. So that's why I added this one to the list, because I just feel like it's good for realism, but it's also good if you're, like I said, just tired of seeing the same old recipes. Then this is good to kind of spicing up your gameplay, even though it's really small. So another mod that I can't quite show in action in game is the random text mod by Kuto. I don't know how to pronounce their name. So their mod, basically what it does is it adds a plethora of random text messages and phone calls from NPCs to make your Sims relationship with others feel more alive. I think this mod is what causes this text from random people. Like, in my short lifespan legacy, we get texts from Bella Goth sometimes because she's our friend. And I think one time it said like, "Hi friend, I miss your face." It was just a text like that. I think that comes from this mod, but I could be wrong. So it's a small mod. It just adds some like text and stuff. But for example, texts and calls, if your sim has a good relationship with their parents growing up, they may call to check in on your sim or give them some money. Bros will call their friends to talk about recent happenings in sports, which I'm pretty sure that's also happened in my short lifespan legacy. Geeks will call their friends to talk about new video games and TV series. Erratic Sims will call their friends to talk about weird things they saw. And criminals in the world may call you to scam you out of your money. So, and there's also more. But like I said, this is a pretty small mod, but I just think it adds realism because, like I said, it makes your Sims friends feel more alive and like actual people, even though they're just Sims. And I think it actually gives them a boost in their relationship, but don't quote me on that. So the next mod is actually 3 mods in one. The first one is, they're all by the same person. The first one is the Sim Spawn Overhaul by Lothario, which I love their name. You can get into what it does is basically it lets you adjust your Sims spawning. You can do only local pedestrians, so you know the people that like walk by your house sometimes, it will only be Sims who are in the current world. So you won't see, if you live in Willow Creek, you won't see Nancy Landgrab walking by. You'll see Bella Goth, something like that. You can also allow homeless pedestrians. You also can prefer local venue Sims. So when enabled, Sims visiting a venue will preferably be Sims who reside in that current world. So if you go to the Blue Velvet in Willow Creek, you're likely to see Bella Goth and Eliza Pancakes there rather than Nancy Landgrab. There's also animals everywhere, so stray animals and dog walking sims will spawn in worlds other than Brindleton Bay, which is so important because not only people who live in Brindleton Bay have animals. Also, there's also no sunlight in Forgotten Hollow, so vampires will not burn in the sun in Forgotten Hollow. So this one, there's not very many options, but it adds so much to the stuff that it does have. Another one by Lothario is the phone call overhaul. So this mod really, it makes phone calls less intrusive by adding extra conditions for them to go through. If you shift click and come back in here, phone call overhaul. So you can prefer local venues that I mean, Sims will always be invited out to lots from the current world. I have that off. And then test for sleep only. When enabled, the game will test only for the sim being awake before running a phone call. So if they're sleeping, the game, like, it won't give them a call, I think. I don't know. The last thing we have from Lothari Ho is the automatic preferences. So, you know your preferences down here, likes and dislikes. And you know how usually it's determined if your sim is in a bad mood and they're doing something like fishing, you'll get a pop-up that's like, so-and-so doesn't really like fishing. Click yes or no. And you click yes or no to decide. This mod, I think let me read the description. Yeah, it says the player in the vanilla game, the player receives a choice prompt for a new like or dislike whenever a sim runs an interaction while in a certain mood. It's not a very nuanced system, and giving the player complete control makes it quite boring. This mod changes that. So it says Sims will slowly build up their activity and music likes/dislikes while interacting with the world around them based on their mood. A small icon will pop up periodically over your Sim's head to indicate this progress. But upon reaching a certain threshold, the Sim will automatically gain a new preference. So it can come up and just says, this person dislikes fishing, or this person has decided they like fishing, or something like that. And it says some traits will increase the rate at which a Sim gains certain preferences. Gloomy Sims tend to dislike comedy, for example, but they can still learn to enjoy it if you keep track of their mood. So that one is like pretty small, but I still like it because I don't like having like complete control of my Sims game. And that sounds kind of weird, but like I don't like the micromanaging. So if my sim decides that they like or dislike something, I don't want to choose for them. If they dislike something or they like something, I want them to choose. So that's why I like the automatic preferences, because it just automatically gives them the preferences. I'm pretty sure I've given... Actually, I don't think I gave her the likes rascals. She might have gotten that on her own. I don't actually remember. But like, it'll come up and be like, Madeline has decided that she likes rascals or something like that. The next mod, I want to show y'all, but like, she hasn't gotten the moodlet. It's the Pregnancy Cravings mod by Plum Lace or something like that. It's a very small mod. It literally just gives them a moodlet that's like, so-and-so has a craving for, I don't know, mac and cheese. And if you have them make mac and cheese, then their craving is satiated. It's very, very small mod, but I like it because it adds that little bit of extra realism, because pregnant people in real life get cravings. And I don't know. I figured I would mention it, even though, like I said, it's very tiny, very small, like, difference, but I think it's worth mentioning. So the next mod is the More Traits and Create a Sim mod. This one I feel is important because it does help with a realistic gameplay, but it also just enriches your gameplay, because having only 3 traits, it doesn't give your Sims much personality, especially if you want to give them at least one quote-unquote negative trait. Because, I don't know, it just doesn't really feel like there's a balance. So with the More Traits and Create a Sim mod by the Pancake one, it gives you 5 traits. Kind of wish it would do 6, but it's fine. And I'm pretty sure with this mod, your Sims can still get like the traits thing, the personality trait thing from Growing Together come up and been like, your Sim has been cleaning a lot lately. Do you think they are neat? Or something like that. You can still have those. So like right here, it'll have, if you have all of your traits, it'll have like right down here, it'll have like a plus like 2 or plus 1. And if you hover over it, it'll like tell you what those extra traits are. Just because they don't show up here doesn't mean that they're not still on your Sim, if that makes any sense. I don't think any of these ones have that. But I don't know. I just think that having more traits on your Sims, it also, on my toddler, originally they only have 1 trait, but with this mod, it opens up another trait slot for them. And for children, usually they only have 1, I think. Do they only have 1 or 2? Either way, it adds another trait slot for them. So they now have 3. And then teenagers, I think, might have the same as young adults, but don't quote me on that because I don't really remember. But yeah, so it just adds more personality to your Sims, I think. Now staying in Create a Sim, the next thing you're going to talk about is traits. So I use all of Kiara Sims 4 mod's traits. Those are the only traits I use. So she does have a custom trait right now. She has Charming. So Charming Sims are polite, likable, build relationships faster than other Sims, and learn charisma faster than others. This trait, I want to say, might come with the healthcare redux mod, but don't quote me on that. I don't actually know where this trait comes from, because I don't think it's from Kiara. The only thing I can think of is coming from healthcare redux, but don't quote me on that because I'm not really for sure. This one's broken right now, but this is supposed to be funny. There's angler, there's author, artist. I don't think dancer. I think dancer's a custom one. There's gamer, handy, mischievous, lyricist, photographer's eye, pizza lover. There's seducer, there's programmer, space lover, stargazer, techie, yoga lover. And then in here, there's obviously charming, there's culture, there's diva, there's early bird, farmer, free spirit, glamorous, herbalist, intellectual, meditator. I always think it says mediator. Meditator. There's shy. There's talented, spiritual, unfaithful, vain, vegan, vegetarian. No, vegetarian comes with the game. Woohoo lover. And then there's no clubber. I think might come from basemental. Loves children. I think that's it, because straight edge also comes from basemental. So okay, so the next mod, none of our Sims actually have it in game right now, so I'm just gonna have to read it to you from the mod description. But of course, in the description you can follow along if you want. So the next one is from A Deep Indigo. Actually, the next 2 are from A Deep Indigo. This one is called Errant Thoughts. Errant, it's such a weird word, but it adds opportunities for your Sims to rethink some of their life choices and make changes on a whim. So, for example, maybe they don't like living in the big city and think a change of pace in the country would be good. Or maybe university isn't all it's cracked up to be and they have the sudden urge to drop out. They can also get like wanting to adopt like pets, and they can also get, I think, to have babies. It kind of makes it seem like your Sims are thinking for themselves, because they're like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to live in this house anymore. I want to move. And you're like, oh, okay, maybe we could. Or I want to have another baby. And it just, even if you don't want another baby, but like, you're like, okay, my Sim wants another baby. Especially if you like to play once-based, because these errant thoughts are kind of like once. So if you like playing once-based, this is good, especially so that you can really follow what your Sim wants. The next one, like I said, is from A Deep Indigo again. It's the Education Overhaul mod. So the reason that this is in honorable mentions and not in big or small mods is just because I don't use this as much as I used to. Children and teens are the focus of the mod. There are a ton of new options for children and teens, in-school interactions, field trips, detention in military school, school projects, different types of homework assignments, new school options, and more. So the kids obviously don't have school until tomorrow, so maybe I can just like send them all to bed real quick and then show y'all the interactions tomorrow. Okay, so we're not actually in the next day yet, but the bed cuddle mod is also on my list in honorable mentions, so I figured while they're asleep we could come in and just quickly look at it. So it really adds like this little cuddle animation thing when your Sims are sleeping, so it doesn't add like a whole hell of a lot, but I think that this is really cute because, I don't know, it makes the Sims relationship feel more important. And if you remember in The Sims 2, and I think it also in The Sims 3, Sims would cuddle in bed, but they do not in The Sims 4 for some reason. So this mod adds it, and I don't know. I love it. I think that it deserved to be mentioned. When they wake up after cuddling with their significant other or whoever they're sleeping with, if they have a romance bar, They will wake up with this moodlet called lover's comfort from cuddling in bed, obviously. It says, there's nothing quite like finding rest in the arms of the person you love after a busy day. Ezra feels invigorated and ready to challenge the world after a blissful slumber with the sim he cares for most. Which is just so cute. Normally, you can only make friends, work hard, and normal, I think. I don't know. But with the education overhaul, they can actively participate, which increases performance, skills, empathy, responsibility, and manners, but it decreases their fun. They can attend club meetings, so it increases fun, social, skills, responsibility, and conflict resolution, but it decreases their performance slightly. They can be disruptive. It increases their fun, lowers performance, responsibility, emotional control, and manners. They can copy homework, increases homework completion, decreases responsibility and manners. They can goof around. I'm not going to read like what all it does. Y'all can read that if you want. They can also leave school early, but that's there already. Like I said, they can make friends. He's already doing normal class participation, but you can do that. You can take notes, you can sleep, and you can participate in group work. So it just adds, oh my god, literally Madeline just got an errant thought. Well, look at the timing. We already passed it, but this is what they look like. So she wants to get a new job apparently. So it says it's the same thing. It's the same thing day in, day out. And it's not like they appreciate all the work that Madeline puts in. Karen comes into work late all the time and no one says anything. But if Madeline does it, the boss is on the phone before she can catch her next breath. She's so tired of it, so she wants to get a new job. Oh, literally right here. If you come in here to school on a computer, they can, if they're like in a virtual classroom, they can do this one. I don't know, I've never done it. They can also attend summer school, which would be pretty expensive for us because if it's $275 per kid, like that's expensive. You can also enroll them in a couple other things. So they can be in a military school, which is boarding, which I imagine means they go away, kind of like in The Sims 3. There's also a prep school. There's SimCity Academy, which is independent. I don't really know what that means, but if your sim maybe is like kind of getting into trouble a lot, they're not really doing good with grades, maybe you can send them there. I feel like it's really good for storytelling. I actually never use them because I just forget that they exist. And there's also Wintercrest Prep School for like the elite private class. So like your rich sims would go there. You can also study in homework, so sometimes you can also do your homework on here, but your kid, I don't know if your kids can, but I know like your teenagers can sometimes come home and be like, so and so has a test coming up tomorrow, they should study. And instead of having to do the homework, in their inventory, what they'll have to do is come in here to study and homework, and you can choose anything. For example, in my Pack Legacy series, I have two teenagers. One of them is into like wellness and stuff and like yoga. So when she got that and she had to come home and study, I chose health and wellness, just because that made sense for her. But like if you have a music related sim, a science and math sim, you can choose those and it'll give them skills in those like categories. So it's really good that way and it makes sense for their storylines. So one more thing that I kind of forgot about the education overhaul is when you click on their homework, he can't because he has a school project, so that's what he has to do. But instead of just having the simple do homework option, you have do math problems, which gives you mental skill, fill out activity chart, which gives you motor skill, practice vocabulary, which gives you creativity, and review social studies, which gives you social. There's also different ones for teenagers, but none of them are teenagers right now. So they can do that. So if you want them to gain skills, like for example, again, this sim is a social butterfly. So if I wanted him to get social skill, I would have him review social studies homework to get that. But because he has a school project, this is what he would need to do in order to like complete homework. The next one in our honorable mentions is the Set Family Relationships mod by Sims Model Simmer or something like that. So this mod is good especially because you know how like if you get a really big family tree and sometimes the game won't recognize your Sims like, I don't know, second cousin or something like that. This mod is good because it lets you, like you have it on the phone as well. I think you can choose to put it on your I don't know. I have it on the, you can click on it on the phone and I think on your Sims as well. So if you come in here to this little baby icon, you can add a mother or a father-in-law. You can add an adoptive parent, a great-great-grandparent, a half-sibling, lineal descendant, a niece or a nephew, a great-grandchild, a sibling, a stepchild, a step-parent, a great-grandchild, great-grandparent, a cousin, a grandparent, an ancestor, an aunt or uncle, brother slash sister-in-law, daughter slash son-in-law, adopted child, godparent, godchild, grandchild, and step-sibling. For example, with the godchild thing in here, I didn't even know that that was an option, but like, say that I wanted, because in my short lifespan legacy, Madeline is best friends with Bella Goth. So say that I wanted to, like, playing as the kids, I wanted to set Bella as their godparent, I could do that with this mod. And it just adds another way to storytell with your Sims relationships. That's why I wanted to mention it. And once you set the relationship, like, it will show up in here. So if I set Calvin, like if Calvin wasn't her son and I set him as her son, it would still show up in here as son. So the next mod is a mod that's not necessarily good for like realistic gameplay, but I wanted to add it in the honorable mentions because it's really useful, especially if you are like trying to storytell or something. So for this, I'm gonna teleport some of these Sims out here because I need kind of a group. Say these two are like on a date or something, and this random kid comes up and starts talking to them. I can just come up here and I can right click with my mouse to get rid of him. So this is the remove Sims from conversation mod by the Pancake one. So it's really good for situations, especially if you're on a date and you have these random ass Sims coming to talk to you while you're trying to like be on your date and storytell and stuff like that. You can just remove them from your conversation and it just makes a world of a difference. The last mod that we are going to be talking about is actually multiple. It's by the same creator, so you all probably know, and obviously it's in the description, so y'all can come follow along with me. It's by Bienchen. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's in the description, and they make I use a lot of their mods. They have a mod that's called Away Actions, and it's really good. Like, okay, for example, we're gonna have Madeline go somewhere really quickly. I'm just gonna have her go to the park by herself. And while she's away, we have more away actions because I think in the just like normal game, you have, can they even, I think they can care for themselves at home. Maybe they can do homework. I don't remember, but there's not very many options. But with the away actions mod from Bienchen, you can like build skills. Like you can have them build skills. Obviously this one's just a kid. I can't do it on the dad for some reason, but this one's just a kid, so he doesn't have very many skills. But if I wanted him to build his social skill, I could click that and he would build his social skill. If I wanted him to do his homework, like I said, I don't know if this already comes in the game, but if it does, then, well, whoops. But if it doesn't, then this mod adds that. But one of the things that I probably use the most is socialize with. I use this especially if you have like a big family, like extended family, and your Sim's not friends with their cousin, and you just don't really have the time to sit there and build a relationship. This is really good because you can click this and you can click anyone that you want him to socialize with. So if he wasn't friends with like one of his brothers and I went in and I had him socialize with like Elias, they would build that relationship and become friends, and all I have to do was be away from the house. So it's really useful. That's the thing that I use the most. I play these households with my cousin and my sister, and they are completely full. Like, they are packed. And so obviously I don't have time to go through and have each kid try and make friends or stay friends with extended family. So it's really useful for those families because I can have them socialize even with people in the same household as us. They might not have the best relationship. I can have them socialize while I'm away from the house, and it's just so much easier. So I had to mention that one. So I'm gonna just leave the link to like the list of all their mods, and you can just look through them, babe. That is all the mods on my list. However, we do still need to give birth. I want to show y'all the giving birth option with the realistic childbirth mod. So I'm gonna send her home and I'll probably just put her in labor. You can, like, this is how you start a home birth. You just literally just click this and start home birth. Or you can just come here. You can have the baby just normally if you want to like do it in the crib or the bassinet. Or you can click to have baby at hospital, and obviously you can still join her, or you can send her alone still. We're gonna join her. Obviously we're gonna bring our husband. I don't think I'm gonna stay here through the whole thing though, because we'll keep her in labor for a little bit just so we can kind of do some of the like the interactions and stuff, but I'm not waiting. Like, it can take days. I'm not even joking with y'all. It can take days. So you can come click on this, and they can obviously sleep or recline. They can also make the bed, but it doesn't need to be made. So they can do breathing exercises. They can ask for an epidural, or they can ask the doctor to check their dilation. So dilation, obviously this is just them coming to check. Breathing exercises, I don't actually know if that helps progress labor or not, or if it just helps to calm the sim in labor down. I don't know. This is the exercise ball that we mentioned earlier, and you can obviously, like I said, ask Ezra for a back massage. You can exercise, which does help with labor. It helps them go into labor faster. And then you can also, if you click on your sim, you can go for a walk, which speeds up labor as well. And if you click on your sims, like the person that they brought with them, they can sway together, which is a really cute interaction. That one I don't think speeds up labor, but it is a really cute interaction, so I'm going to show y'all. So she has this one, contraction pain. Madeline's contractions are definitely uncomfortable, but manageable for now. Perhaps she should rest up while she can, or maybe take a walk before moving becomes unbearable. One way or another, she should definitely take advantage of this calm before the storm. She also has hospital time. It's time for Madeline to get settled in the hospital. She is a little nervous, but she's a little nervous that this is actually happening. Luckily, she can still talk and feel normal in between contractions, but the time between each contraction is still inconsistent. And she has whoa from water breaking. Is this really happening? Is Madeline in labor? Her water just broke and a huge amount of water rushed out. Pain is kicking in as the contractions start. Madeline can't tell if she should feel shocked, scared, or excited. How did she do this last time? And can she do it again? I kind of like that it mentions how did she do this last time, because she has given birth twice already. Because she gave birth, I guess technically she kind of gave birth 5 times. She had to push all these kids out, but like I don't know. I guess, yeah, she's been pregnant twice, but she's pushed babies out 5 times. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I kind of like that it mentions that she's done it before. Oh, she's got this one. I'm done from early labor. Why? Okay. Oh my God. Why is this taking so long? Madeline knew it would be painful, but she did not sign up for this. The contractions are intense stabbing pains that's making her feel irritated. She can't help but snap at everything and everyone around them. Anything to distract herself from the pain. Just get this baby out already. Oh, ugh. Oh, they have this one too. A shoulder to lean on. Madeline is patiently waiting for her baby to arrive. Thankfully, her partner is here keeping her company. Being gently wrapped in their arms is making everything a little more bearable. Aww. Oh, she has this one too. This one's the same though. I think this one they might get if the person isn't like a significant other. I don't know why she got both of them though. They're gonna check the dilation. He's literally just gonna pop a finger up in there and... Okay. What is it? Oh wow, she's 4 centimeters dilated. I was not expecting that. This can't be right. Is something wrong? Madeline is experiencing horrendous pain. Is her baby alright? Is Madeline dying? It's almost as if her body is acting on its own, and it's terrifying. Yeah, baby, your body knows what to do. It's actually really kind of cool how, like, your body just knows what to do. Madeline is actually having a baby. Her life is about to change completely. Despite all the pain rushing through her body, Madeline is in a daze. She would need a minute to let the reality set in. Breathe. The breathing technique made the contractions a whole lot easier to bear and is putting Madeline in a focused mindset. She's beginning to feel like she might be able to just breathe through the whole thing. It's almost time. About time already. The contractions are intense. Madeline feels the inside of her body being lit on fire and ripped apart simultaneously. She is done with this whole situation and ready to get it over with. Jesus Christ. Madeline is managing her pain like a champ. The contractions are still very much uncomfortable, but she is keeping calm and tackling each wave as they come. Madeline is feeling very relaxed and confident about this birth. That's the spot. There it is. Madeline's lower back was killing her, so getting a back massage felt amazing. Having some counter pressure on her lower back really helped ease contraction pains. And then the baby is ready for their debut. Madeline can feel an instinctual urge to push. Fortunately, no, I just said fortunately. Fortunately, she is rested and energized for the task ahead. Maybe, no. Madeline can hardly believe she's about to meet the baby she has been carrying all this time. I'm going to ask to check dilation again. And I guess we're going to ask someone different this time. Let's do Carla. She seems trustworthy. Oh my god, we're fully dilated. Wow. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, let's have Carla deliver our baby. Oh, he also has a moodlet. Hold on. It's go time. You're doing a great job. Keep going. Just a bit more. I love you so much and I'm so proud of you. Oh. And they have a full household. Madeline has given birth. She should go back to the obstetrician in a couple of days for a postpartum checkup. Those checkups are important. In real life as well. But they are really important. Sometimes I skip them and I really shouldn't, because that's probably why she had a medical emergency in my short lifespan legacy, because I don't think I sent her to her appointment. That's it. Now Madeline has a new baby. It looks acceptably cute and will give a new dynamic to Madeline's life. Sometimes change is wholesome. And she has this one, unseen discomfort from postpartum pain. It's unseemly how messy things feel. Ew. And that's basically it. So now that she's given birth, I'm going to end this video here. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. I tried to explain everything. This was my first time making a video like this, so I hope I did a good job. And if you download any of these mods, let me know. And if you end up liking them, also let me know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in whatever video I do next. Bye, guys.